Hi everyone, welcome to another Hatton's live stream, and today, big news, we've got Jack back.
Hello everyone, it's been a long time, but I'm glad to be here for this special one-off socially distanced Platform 1.
That's it, yeah, it's great to see you over there, Jack, and I mean, between us, we've got lots and lots of different products here, so it's great to have you back, and of course, what better reason to be back than our festive sale that we launched last week. So we thought we'd give you some more info on the many, many different models that we've got available.
Yeah, I mean, that's putting it lightly, really, isn't it? I mean, we've just about crammed as much as we could onto the table here. And we've given you a good mixture of what we've got available because we've got stuff across O gauge, we've got era 3 to 8 double O gauge items, we've got bang up to date modern image double O gauge items, and plenty of stocking fillers too. I mean, we've got items here from just £2. I mean,
it's a great way to pick something up for Christmas, isn't it?
Exactly.
It really is.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll tell you what, you're here for a change. Where do you want to start? I'll let you have the honour.
Guest choice today, isn't it, I suppose? Where do we start? I mean, it's right in front of me. We're going to go for our very own Hatton's original steam locomotives that we've got in front of me here.
Look at those.
Absolutely delightful Andrew Barclay 040 OST, as you can see here. Now, these have just been discounted from £99 down to £84, along with our P-Class locomotives as well. So, you know, these, what is it to say about these? Absolutely gorgeous locos, the pair of them. Amazing weight for such a tiny, both of them really, with these die-cast chassis.
Full die-cast chassis in there. And these are really good. If you're a starting off double O modeler, if you've watched some of the beginner's skills casts that we've offered, or something along those lines too, a very small locomotive, but as you said, perfectly formed as well. You've got a huge amount of different liveries there, covering both the Andrew Barclays and the P-classes that we can see on the screen now.
That's it. And it means it's such a versatile purchase, really, doesn't it? Because they come in at such a great price, but the performance really adds up there too. And being so tiny, you can run them on practically any size layout there. So you've got a little shelf layout, or even a full-blown round the loft layout. They're going to be at home anywhere, really. And like you said, with so many different liveries there, you can get a lot of industrial operations in there. As you saw with the P-Class, we've got the, I mean, who doesn't love SECR? That's why we had to get that one out there. But we've got wartime variations, the lot, really. So there's something for all different kinds of layouts there.
That's it. So have a look at that link in the description right now. As Jack mentioned, both the P-classes and the ABs are now reduced to £84, which is the cheapest price they've ever been too. So do have a look at those. If you've been looking at one or you want another one to pick up onto your layout, do take a closer look. I think we've had an audience request, actually, for something they've spotted on the screen. I'll just pull that up. Let me just see if I can find it again. So Chelmsford Junction there mentioning regarding the Hatton's mugs. Now, it's time for you to listen up, Chelmsford, because these are available. We've got these right now. I believe the £3.50.
£3 on its own, that is.
£3.
I mean, if you want to represent Hatton's, get the brand out there. I mean, you know, we're not going to say no. Go ahead, drink your tea, coffee, whatever you like out of one of these. £3.
That's it. We can't say it enhances the flavour of the drink inside it, but if you want to believe that, do have a look. So we have those available too. If you want a little stocking filler, or as you said, you just want to make sure you've got the Hatton's brand somewhere near your layout, you're more than welcome to pick one of those up now. They're included in our sale too.
That's it.
So let's stick with the double O theme for now. I think there's a few people spotting the Beal hacks and various other items. Where do you want to head next?
Well, I suppose we took a look at some locos, but you've got to have something to pull with them, right? Yeah. So let's take a look at the Bok tank. So this is Helgen's release from, I believe, it only a year or two old it was that these came out.
Now. Just got a photo there, as you can see.
Absolutely spectacular wagons. These, the detail levels are unbelievable. Immense amount of variations as well with these. You've got two different bogie types representing the Gloucester and the is it GPS?
Yes.
The bogie style on those. Lots of separately fitted details on here, as you can probably see from the photos on the website. Very, very intricate printing on here as well, which is just, it's a sight of a whole.
And there's a lot of different variation in these too, although they do look quite similar. There's 20 different variations, some of which we have already sold out of, I believe, too. So these are going really fast, but there are different variations on the branding on them and the different items that they did carry inside them. So if you're modeling from the late 60s up until the early 1990s or so, these are one to look at either in a bulk train running throughout England, or have a look at them running in part of Speedlink services too.
And as you said for the P&AB, this is the cheapest price that these have ever been.
Yes.
£75 down to £45, which I think is about 40% off, which is...
It's a fair discount.
It's a fair old discount, that one. And as Dave said, some of these have already started to sell out. They are selling very, very quickly, though. So in fact, when we updated the website earlier, there was quite a few codes that got pulled off there. So I would definitely add those to your basket and get them shipped as soon as you can.
And that's the same thing for everything we've got here. This is what we've got right now at the time of recording, but do check out that link in the description for the latest stock that we have. And of course, everything is available while stocks last too. So if you see something right here, right now, make sure you get it, because you just might miss out, which we don't really want before Christmas. So
that's it.
Let's head back to those wagons, I think. Jack, let's have a look at our Warwell wagon, the Hans Originals.
So both the double O gauge and the O gauge Warwells are available as part of this promotion. So our double O gauge ones are available now for just £28 each, which I think it's Sam Strains who's took a close look at both variations of the Warwell recently. And I think he was blown away by the sheer weight of these wagons. So I think they're weightier than some locomotives, really,
I'll just pop over to our little studio, actually, where I've got one of these between two of the bargains that we have here.
Ah, there we go.
So you can see the original style Warwell that we have there in the wartime livery, the Second World War colour scheme, framed by two of our other bargains that we've already covered, the Barclay, and we'll get to the 156 in a little bit. But as you mentioned there, Jack, full die-cast chassis on these, a lot of detail in them, and of course, many different liveries available too.
And the beauty of the Warwell is its sheer length of operation. Obviously designed during World War II, and you use a lot of the really for that period. But they're still in use now, and obviously they've gone through a lot of different modifications throughout their life. But we've covered the entire history, and most of those are available for you. So as I said, you've got the wartime liveries in there, some of the more British Rail era and industrial usage, and then right up to the modern Ministry of Defence liveries too. So there's plenty to go for there.
And they're still going strong. And did you know that with the exception of the 1938 tube stock on the Isle of Wight, they are the oldest rolling stock in commercial service in the UK. So once those tube trains go at the end of the year in the Isle of Wight, the Warwell will be the oldest item of rolling stock. And that just shows you how successful a design it is. Still in great condition, still out there performing the duties 80 years after they were built. Yeah. How many things can run like that at the same quality after 80 years?
And as we were saying, like, just the amount of operations you can have those on. It's not just wartime or military vehicles that have to run with these. There was a lot of conversions, which we modeled in our double O versions as well, where they were used for steel carrying or rail carrying. Were given flat deck conversions to have different types of vehicles on top and things like that. So there was... it's an amazing history on those wagons. We can talk about those all day, can't we?
And we have got the full history on our website too. So click that link in the description, not only for the info on the sale, but if you do want to find out more about everything we have here today, there's more articles, details, close-up pictures on there too. So while we're on the topic of wagons, it's not quite a wagon, but I think we've got to take a close look. Rolling stock, shall we say? Yes. And that's the last item on our screen that we've not looked at. That's the Beelhack Snowplow.
Indeed. And there's one in front of Dave on the desk right there.
There is indeed.
And yeah, again, it's one that always astounds me. This is just the weight of the thing. Yeah. The die-cast chassis in here is absolutely amazing. But as you can probably tell here as well, detail levels are something to behold too. You've got those lamp brackets on the front. You've got those lovely buffers there. Loads of detail in the bogies, because obviously these were converted from redundant class 40 and class 45 bogies. So we had to go to town on that with the detail, didn't we?
And of course, with these typically being pushed around by larger locomotives, you do need that weight in there too. So the metal chassis, as Jack mentioned, you can just about see there, you've got the separate axles fitted too, and you've got a huge amount of detail, variations in the detail between the different eras. And the versions we have available right now in the sale are suitable for you 1980s and 1990s BR era modelers. You saw these all across the country in that time, and the yellow colour schemes are down to £35 from £43.
That's it. And as you'll have seen from the photo, we've got everyone's favourite, the Stratford Shark, still available in there as well. So that's a great one to just have as I think makes a fantastic gift for someone, that as well, just as an interesting piece of railway honour, because where else would you see a shark painted on a piece of rolling stock? I mean, it's a very
unusual one to see that, but a great one to see at the same time. So whilst we're here, let's have a look at the big diesel locos we've got featured. Eugene there's asking us what the deals are on the Hatton 66s, and these have come down in price too. So we've got some great deals on these at the moment. All of the variations now available. The standard digital ready versions are now £119. That's down from 150. So again, all the liveries that we've got available right now can be found by clicking that link in the description.
That's it. We just had to get the Class 66s into this promotion. They've been one of the hottest sellers for us throughout the year. And we practically got the whole range available still as part of this promotion. So you can pick up a huge selection of colour schemes. As you will have seen from us before when we talked about the 66s, we've covered practically their entire operational lives in the range. So you've got everything from those early days in EWS colour schemes right through into Freightliner, direct rail services. You've got GBRF. And of course, we've got plenty of celebrity locos for you guys who like a bit of variety on your layout, which you can see here. We've got the everyone's favorite BR large logo blue, the very striking one pink color scheme. We've got Biffa red, we've got Freightliner orange, all kinds really. So to be honest, with the 66, you've just got to head to the website and just flick through all the different liveries we've got, because there's just so much variety there.
There's 37 different versions available covering the whole lifespan of the Class 66. And for those of you who've watched our Class 66 profile video, if you haven't, do head over to our YouTube channel. You'll know the full story behind these locomotives. Coming into service in the UK in 1998, and over the last 22 years, they've been seen everywhere on the UK's railways. There's nearly 500 of them in service now, more than there's ever been, with even more being imported every single year. You can see them across continental Europe. You can see them in Africa, some of the various different versions out there too. So the Class 66 has changed the face of UK railways, change the face of European railways, really, and can change your layout to have a really high quality, high detail locomotive on it, such as this. In fact, we've even been spotting a few out the back of the Hatton's Hub today. We've had two GBRF Class 66s popping up to deliver a unit for some work at the facility across the road. So you really can see them everywhere. Can't escape the Class 66.
That's it.
Can't escape the great bargains with them either, which is the important part indeed. But when we pulled that up there, Jack, I spotted a few other modern image items here. So take your pick.
I think we've got to talk about the FEAs now, and that leads on perfectly from the 66, because that's one of the locos that you'd see very frequently hauling these in real life. We don't have quite one here on the desk to show you at the moment, but again, it's another one with an amazing weight in there. It's practically entirely die-cast aside from the detailing parts on there, and we've got different Freightliner and GBRF blue variations of those in stock. They're now all just £25. £25 for a full die-cast wagon, intermodal wagon there, which you can use for a variety of different purposes. Perfect to pair with lots of different containers that are out there in double O gauge, and potentially other uses for these too, isn't there?
Yes, so these look fantastic, either flat with no load on them, returning to a depot, as you can see, with a lot of underframe detail on there. You can put a container on top of that. As you mentioned, there's various suppliers out there, including Dapol and Oxford Diecast, who the containers work absolutely perfect on these models too. So if you are modeling a container train, or you've picked up a Class 66 and you're not quite sure what to run with it, if you've got a Freightliner one, if you've got a GBRF one, that is the way to go, especially because you aren't going to find a container wagon highly detailed that's cheaper than this.
Absolutely. Leading on from that, I suppose, we've got the RHTT down here on the desk, which, of course, is the railhead treatment train. That is based off of an FEA wagon. Yes. But, of course, you get these lovely-looking modules on top, which, excuse me, which is used across the UK for clearing the way. And they will actually be out on the network right now with, obviously, in the autumnal winter period, lots of leaves and lots of other debris on the line. So they'll be something you can see out and about right now. But I believe it's one of the UK's most photographed workings, isn't it, on the railways, because it's just such a everyone's really dying to get out there and see it in action.
The great thing about the RHTT, and again, if you have a look on our website, we've got huge amounts of information on these vehicles, and we've done a profile video on them too. Have a look out there, because when they were introduced in 2004, right up until this year, they've been used by pretty much every type of diesel locomotive across the network, including some of the classic EWS locomotives, the Class 37s, the Class 20s, other locomotives out there too, with a huge variety of different operators. If it's a UK diesel locomotive, if it's been around in the 21st century, if it's on your collection, it's right for an RHTT. It will have ran with one. That is how extensive these wagons have ran.
That's it. Practically any loco on the network today will have pulled an RHTT. One thing that really surprised me, 67s and 68s have worked with them. These are, you see
70s.
them as, and 70s, practically brand new locomotives, nice and shiny out of the box. And the pulling RHTTs getting all dirty, and I think that's brilliant because it just gives you so much more variety on your layout as well.
And there you go. Chelmsford Junction spotted one in Birmingham, so you can see them all over the UK, especially at this time of year as well, when they are being cleaned and cleaning the different tracks out there.
Beauty of our model is too, we've got both the pristine and weathered variations available. Obviously, you don't stay in that condition for very long, so whether you might want them clean to weather yourself or to show it in a depot scene, or maybe you just want it running around clean, that's the option there for you. But we do have the quite heavily weathered versions available too, so you can get that in quite a realistic condition. And these start from just £99 now for the 2-wagon pack. And we also have the single wagon extra pack available for, I believe, £49 too.
And that on its own is a train with 2 locomotives. You don't need any further vehicles, then you don't need to add any more wagons or coaches or anything besides. If you have an RHTT set with a loco at either end, that's sorted. So it's great for those of you who don't quite have the space for a really large layout, but you still do want to model full trains as you see them on the network. You don't want to compromise by taking coaches or locos out of your train. You can pick up an RHTT set, 2 locomotives, and squeeze them into a really tight space on your layout. And the bonus is there too. They would be getting into those tight spaces. They would be going into the sidings and the head shunts and all the different parts of lines where locomotives and freight wagons don't usually go.
Well, they've got to get everywhere, haven't they?
They have got to get everywhere. So if you've got a modern image layout post 2000, I can't see why you've not got an RHTT. But if you haven't, this is the time to pick them up. And again, as we've said about everything on the desk here and everything in our sale, these are moving fast. So don't miss out.
That's it. Get your skates on. Where are we going to go next, Dave?
I'm going to leave that one up to you, Jack. I think we've got to go big, though.
I think so.
I think we've got to go big. And a few people have already been asking.
Yeah. Well, this guy's on the table. We've got A3s and A4s in the sale. Yes, that's right. £579 now for both the LNER A3 and A4 462. Quite a lot left in the range, so a lot of different variations still available. You've got everything from the LNER era right through to BR, as we've got Flying Scotsman here in its current condition. We've got a lot of different detail variations on these, which are completely accurate to the different locos. So as you've got here with the smoke deflectors, you've got the different chimney types, tender types, the works. There's even unnumbered variations, so you can get exactly the loco that you want, so you can name and number that up yourself later. So it's £579 for such a gigantic loco in O-gauge.
For a full express loco that can talk the talk and walk the walk as well. You've got a great haulage capacity in here. You've got the full die-cast chassis in there too. You've got a huge amount of weight, coming up to nearly 3 kilos for the whole locomotive there coming through. You've got all the details that Jack mentioned, the separately fitted etched smoke deflectors and a lot of separately fitted parts on the top too. Cutting back to some of the liveries and colour schemes that we've got there. I'll just show those up for you again. This is the original LNER green at the bottom, and then heading into the 1950s, you've got Windsor Lad in the BR style green from the 1950s. And that is 2 of 8 variations available in this sale.
That's it. You've even got the BR Express Blue available there too. But we can't forget about the A4s either, because they're just as magnificent, really, if not more so for some people, with that streamlined front end. And we've got the full range of those in there too. So you've got the LNER Silver variation, which was one of those early ones, as you can see there, with good old Silver Link. You've got LNER Garter Blue, which I believe may have just sold out today. But we do have other variations of that coming in the future. We've got BR Green, plenty of different variations there. So you've just got to check them out on the website, really.
That's it. We're finding that even while we're live on air now, some items are being sold out. We're just getting little notes from the staff room saying these items are going, so they really are flying off the shelves. But with these locos, like Jack said, you can't pick up a full-size express locomotive in O-gauge for under £600 until now. this is the first time this has happened anywhere, never mind just at Hatton's. And picking up a loco of this quality as well, the level of detail and the engineering that's gone into this. And again, with the A4, there's several different variations there covering the preserved locomotives and some of the original style liveries too. Just again, looking at the LNER style silver and bittern there as it is preserved. These are just a short selection of what we have available right now. And both the A3s and the A4s are provided with unnumbered versions, so you can create your favorite member of either class.
That's it. If you're looking for something a bit more up to date and still equally as large an O gauge, though, Class 50s, these are now available from just £495. We've got our fantastic exclusive to Hatton's Rail Tour Duo in there. As you can see on screen, you've got Thunderer there, 50008, and we've also got 50015 in that classic Civil Engineers Dutch colour scheme, which was a unique colour for the 50 there, wasn't it? It was only on that one loco, so it's a bit of a nice collector's item.
And both of those models are Hatton's exclusive too, so you can only pick them up from us, but we also have the Rail Freight Triple Grey Class 50, again a one-off colour scheme in real life, and that's available at the same price right now. So just a quick question that I've seen in the chat, I will get that one answered. Sandeep's asked regarding the digital status of the A3 and A4, and they are indeed, they've got a Locksound L decoder socket in there, so you can either fit a standard decoder or they are DCC sound ready with space for a large digital speaker in the tender or at the front of the A3 too. And that's the same for the Class 50, actually. Coming back to the 50, you've got these screw terminals in there for a wired decoder. So you do need to do a little bit of soldering to get that in, but you've got a huge amount of space in there for a really big speaker. So if you want that English electric roar on your layout, all 16 cylinders of a Class 50 sounding great underneath your Christmas tree, there isn't a better time to pick one of these up.
Totally agree. You haven't quite got enough space for a loco of that size, though. We've still got you covered in O gauge with Dapol's Class 58XX042T locomotive. I think we should have some on screen for you right now. So we've got two variations of this for just £174 in O gauge. So we've got the lovely GWR share button color scheme there, and also BR Black. So two different eras available there, and quite a lot of variety. But I can't get over the price, £174. That's double O gauge territory for an O gauge locomotive, and a fairly new one at that.
This has got to be the best way into the O gauge modeling area, really. If you have thought about it for a while, do watch some of our videos on our channel, because they do cover the basics of O gauge and they've got a bit more information in there for you too. Or do indeed get in touch with our customer experience team. We'd be more than happy to give you a hand. But buying one of these locomotives for a price that really isn't going to break the bank. If you're a double O gauge modeler already, there'll be a lot of things you're familiar with in there, with the 21-pin digital ready socket, but also a lot of things you can only get in O gauge, really, which is the huge amount of detail, the cosmetic inside valve gear in there too, sprung buffers, all that detail on the front and in the cab, and you've even got firebox flicker in there, which we don't see on a lot of double O locomotives, never mind O gauge locos. So you can really pick up some quite interesting models there with a lot of details. So as always, take a look at the link in the description for a little more information.
I think it's just great to see that we've got both, you know, your established O gauge modelers covered here, and also if you just want to get started in O gauge, there's quite a lot of variety there too. As I mentioned previously, our Warwell wagons are also available as part of this promotion in O gauge. They are as good, or if not better, than the double O gauge in some respects, for just the sheer weight of them and the sheer detailing available on there too. And they're available for just £69 for what is quite a large O gauge wagon there. So there's some amazing details to be had. But yeah, there's something for all different O gauge wagons.
There really is. I think we can take a minute to answer some of the questions we're getting through here now.
Let's do it.
Have a break from the huge amount of sale items we've got and answer some of the questions. We don't want to hit you too much at once. So I think we'll go for King Ori's there. And what gauges do you model? Now, I'm an O gauge modeler personally. I have been for a couple of years now, but I've still got a couple of double O gauge bits out there too. So I like the best of both, really, but there's some great models either way, and some of which I'm taking home from the sale too, I've got to be honest. How about you, Jack?
Oof, I could be here all day talking about the collection I've got. I'm more of a collector than a modeler at the moment, to be honest with you, but I've got a fair bit of double O gauge sort of 1960s to modern UK era stuff. I've got N-gauge Japanese. I've got HO gauge Norwegian items. So I'm a bit of a random collector, but I think there's a few bits I'm going to be picking up for the sale too. I've got my eye on a Beal hack over there, so I think that'll be perfect for a few of my locos.
And then I'll just have a quick look there. And good question from, let me just find that one, from Joe Light Railway, actually, regarding the 14XX. Sorry, let me just make sure that one comes up right. That's the one I was after. So this is a little bit of an unusual one, actually. And some Great Western locos did have this when they were in the final colour schemes of the Great Western Railway. They did actually gain some of the BR fittings in the early 1950s, but they weren't fully repainted either. So I understand that this is an unusual but authentic colour scheme on this one. So again, if you do fancy something a little bit different, this may be the one that you wish to pick up. So I just thought I'd slide in a quick answer to that one there, but do take a look. There's some great photos out there of locos in those conditions.
Bit of an intermediary one there, but it was quite a common sight on the railways, that sort of scheme, wasn't it?
Back to the sale. So whilst we're on with O-Gauge, I think we've got to look at our Warwell wagons too. So we've covered these in 00 already. We're getting a little bit big, but we're bringing you guys in O-Gauge the bargains on our Warwells too.
That's it. So as mentioned previously, these are now just £69, down from £85. You can see the level of detail there on the photos, and we've got the two opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of era there. You've got right at the start with those I believe War Department conditions there with the GWR, and then you've got brand up to date there with the Ministry of Defence colour scheme. With, you can see the different variations in there too, with the different buffer styles and the sheer amount of detailing, intricate printing on there. They really are a sight to behold, these.
And if there is anything that you've seen today that you want to see in close up, you want to see some really up close and personal images of it, check out that link in the description. There's high quality images that you've been putting on there throughout the last couple of days or so. So have a look and you can see all those details that we are talking about.
That's it. And if you want to get a closer look at any of the items here too, do drop us a comment. Dave might be able to do a deeper stream on any of these items, and he might have already done some already. So do check out our YouTube channel and back on our Facebook videos too, because you've been really busy with these streams, so there's quite a lot to get a deep dive into, and there's plenty more to come as well. Yeah,
we've done a lot of coverage on the 66s, the RHTTs, various other models here, and more besides too. So do check out our YouTube and Facebook pages for that.
Absolutely.
So we've had a look at pretty much everything now, but I think we've got to go back to 00 for a second and have a look at the Realtrack 156. I know you're a fan of this one, Jack. I know this is a bit of a guilty pleasure for you, isn't it? Really?
It is. I'm a bit of a sucker for these second generation multiple units, so it is one I'm a bit of a fan of. We've got, oh, there we go, it's popped in there. So we've got one in the studio. We've got the fantastic BR Provincial Sprinter colour scheme there, but we do also have these available in the East Midlands Trains colour scheme. And these, what can you say about these Realtrack models 156s, Dave? They're just absolutely gorgeous. The level of detail on these is unparalleled in multiple units. The interiors, as you can see, you've got all the correctly laid out seating there with tables and everything else. You've got detailed cabs in there. You've even got the option for, there's a few different product codes for each one, which have got different destination points on each end. And even on the East Midlands versions, there's different, very subtle detail variations on the livery on each model that you get. So some of them have got the blue destination blinds, some of them are white, some of them have got different logos and icons on the sides of them, but it's all very subtle. So you can get something that's completely accurate for your layout. And I could talk about this all day, I think.
If you do want to see more on the 156s, again, we have got a load more information on our website, as well as a full video profile on the models on our YouTube page. But as you said, Jack, these are the Rolls Royce of models, I think. Just the level of detail that Realtrack have gone to on these particular models, really down to that tiny little features that takes you quite a while to spot. But that, for me, as they say, the devil is in the detail, really. So it's worth having a closer look at these. And they are down to just under £200 now as well. They're £195, which might sound a lot at first, but you are buying two locomotives, really.
Realistically, that's what you're getting. And you're getting an entire train in one box. That's all you need. That two-car unit that can shuttle up and down wherever you want it to go. That is an entire train right there for under £200. And as they've said, Rolls Royce of units, it's an absolute absolute lovely model.
And don't take our word for it. Chelmsford Junction there, making sure that we're to know that they are a fantastic model, so do check them out in closer detail on our website.
If you like your toys on a model as well, plenty of different features on these to have if you like a bit of play value, or if you want to really get ultra realistic. You've got the working door interlock lights on there, lots of other different lighting features. If you did want to go ahead and add sound at a later point, there's some fantastic options for that as well. So it's got to be, if you've got any layout from the 90s onwards, I think you've got to have one of those on it.
It really is that special. Now, I think we've got to have a look as well at some stocking fillers here. Everyone loves locos, everyone loves rolling stock. As I know, all of you love these items that we've got here, but you've got to have the little details to fill the corners on your layout. It's not all about the trains at the end of the day, although we wish it could be. We've got to look at some of the smaller vehicles that we have here, including the die-cast buses and cars too. So for those of you who are road modelers, or you just need a little space to fill on your layout, take a look at what's coming up.
I'm not going to lie, Dave, I was really excited for this part of the stream because it astounds me just how cheap we've got some of these available for. So as you've got on the screen there, plenty of exclusive first editions buses and coaches from across the UK. There is an absolutely unbelievable assortment of vehicles in there. We've got one on the desk in front of me here, which is, I believe it's a Plaxton pointed dart. And this is available from just £6.
Yeah.
£6 for what are really beautifully detailed buses. I know a lot of people who do just have these as collections, a lot of different bus collectors out there. But as Dave said, it's something to just add to your layout as well. So if you need something to be tooting around on the roads, or sat in a bus stop or in a lay-by or something like that, plenty of different buses from lots of different eras. I can see you've got a much more classic one there.
Well, I've got a Guy Arab 2 over here, and this is Walsall Corporation, but we have over 100 available right now at bargain prices, covering pretty much the whole era of motorised road transportation, really. And again, you can see here, and in the detailed pictures on our website, it's got a full interior there with separately fitted seats. You've got the wheels that do turn as well. If you do want to push it up and down on your layout, you can do. It's got the fully authentic livery that's, again, been fully researched for each different vehicle. There's many, many different types of buses. You've got the Plaxton there. I believe you've also got a Metro bus to hand as well.
I do, yeah. So let's bring this guy in. There's quite a striking livery on this one with the really strong blue and yellow colour scheme there. But what I always love about these is also because buses have such big windows, the interior has to be good too. So you've got all the accurately laid out seating in there. You've got the poles, you've got the driver's cab, you've got separately fitted windscreen wipers. Plenty to look at on these. They're just beautiful models to have, and for just £6, you really can't go wrong. I believe a lot of these, the RRP would have been significantly higher originally for these.
Around £25 to £30, yes. So there's some huge savings, and just again a small selection, including that Metro bus that you've just had there, Jack, on the screen now. But there is a lot more of these available for all different parts of the country. Just looking on the screen there, we've got Wales, we've got the north of Scotland, we've got heading up into the northwest, northeast. Got
the capital in there as
well. Down
into
the Midlands, and as he said, down to the south there too. So wherever you are in the UK, if you're a 00 scale modeler, there is a bus for you available at the moment, no doubt. So do take a look at what we have available right now. But what if £6 not good enough for you? £6 is cheap. We can't deny £6 is cheap. But what if that's not cheap enough?
How low can we go?
How low can we go? So I think we've got to go lower, and this is really getting down to pocket money prices now.
£2. £2 for a quite frankly massive range of pocket bomb vehicles. As you can see here, we've got a bit of a selection there for you. So we've got some British Rail items there. You've got the little electric van in the bottom right, and the, I believe, which we've got on the table as well, which is this lovely flat wagon with the truck as well. And there's quite a variety of other vans. You've got ambulances in there. I think there's a couple of small buses and some other cars and such as well. But yeah, £2. It's so cheap that you could buy probably about 10 or 15 of these things, and you've completely filled your layout with traffic then. So if you want to completely simulate realistic UK traffic jams on your motorway scene or in and around your town, you've got that to go for. And as we said there as well, there's quite a lot of different British Rail items in there too. So for your station scenes and your depots and things like that, lots of different items which will just really make a scene. But what really surprised me with these is they're not skimped on the detail either.
No.
These aren't toys or like poor quality models. These are very, very nice. So there's a lot of detail here. They've all got like registration plates on here. You've got really intricate printing. You've got steering wheels inside the cab on this one. So they're wonderful models just as much as they are a bargain to fill your layout with.
And there's some great opportunities there too. As you mentioned, you can put them on the roads and in the car parks on your layout. But here's some more ideas. You could have a scene at a level crossing, maybe. If you keep an eye on our channel for the level crossing guide video, you can check that out too. You could put them on some of what they call the car flat wagons to have them being delivered by rail. So you can combine road and rail if you wish. And that's just 2 ideas to get you started. Roads and rails do come into contact more and more than you think, really, with various different opportunities to get these onto your layout, especially as you mentioned in the British Rail colour schemes that we have there. So do take a look at these. As we mentioned before, some of these have already sold out. A few keen-eyed viewers have already got onto these bargains and took a few away. So if you are watching now or you're watching back a little later on, our latest availability is available right now through that link in the description. But as you mentioned, we've got hundreds of these available, different types.
That's it. You really do have to just get onto the website and just have a good old browse through. It's a nice bit of window shopping just before Christmas as well, to make sure you get all your right items in. One thing I would say as well is, obviously, with the run up to the festive season now approaching, there is an expectation that there will be a lot of orders coming in. We have bulked up our staff here at Hatton's, so we've got a great dispatch team down there. They are operating at amazing levels at the moment. If you go onto our status page on the website, you can see how they're performing in terms of getting the deliveries out there. I believe they're practically hitting 100% most days for getting items out before. If you order before 4 p.m, we can get them out the same day for you. But as I say, a lot of orders coming through, so we do recommend that you place your orders as soon as possible, and then they'll be with you in time for the big day if you need them. And if you're elsewhere in the world as well, just make sure you check out the postage dates to make sure that it does get to you on time. But we are working extremely hard, and our guys down there are ready and waiting to get your items out to you.
They are indeed. And with items starting at £2 upwards at the moment as well in this sale, there really is something for everyone, whether you're double O gauge, there, various different eras covering right from the 1910s up to, well, pretty much today, really, with the RHTTs and the Class 66s that we have available. I really do recommend taking a look at that link in the description, because this is just a small selection of what we have available in the sale. So whether you're feeling like picking up a brand new full-size locomotive, or you're thinking of just adding a couple of little bits in there, or picking up a gift, a couple of stocking fillers, as we mentioned, maybe the mug or a bus or something along those lines, it's a really good time to.
Absolutely. I mean, there's something for practically every layout here and every type of collection. As we said, you might not even be a railway modeler. You might just be a diecast collector, or you might like something for a little scene or something for your mantelpiece. Perhaps in the past, your dad might have driven one of these wagons, or you yourself might have driven one of those. Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, there really is something for everyone here. And
if you want some inspiration on putting these onto your layout, either get in touch with our customer experience team, who can give you some guidance on what locos to run with what stock. Check out the videos on our channels, and of course, check out all the articles on our website too, where there's more information there. Now, I've got to answer this one. I saw it come up in the chat there. King Ori asking if we can go down to £1. Now, £2 is as cheap as we go on this sale. What we can do for you is, if you want a little bit of something extra, we can put you some bubble wrap in the parcel for free and the catalogue in there too. But £2 is as cheap as we go, which really is as low as we could cut it. But when you're picking up one of these fantastic vehicles, which, let's be honest as well, you'd be paying a lot more than £2 for one of these, certainly a couple of years ago now. So to have these down at this price, I don't know when they'll be back at this price again. So do keep an eye out there. I can see Jack's already eyeing one up there now. So I don't think we're going to be able to leave this set without having a couple of purchases ourselves here, actually. So, but as said, everything available right now on the site.
That's it. Head to Hatton.co.uk or use that link in the description below, and you can have a good browse through. As I said, perfect chance to get some Christmas shopping done, perfect chance to treat yourself to a little something before the big day as well, and just to enjoy something over the festive period. But there really is. You've just got to go on and have a great look through. I've been keeping an eye out myself just to see what I might be able to pick up, as we say, but Yeah.
I think you'll treat yourself in that case, Jack. I know I certainly am doing at some point. So we'll just do a quick recap again of some of our favourites of what we have available in the sale.
Yeah, so as we've talked about at the start, we've kind of split this up into 4 different sectors. So you've got your 00 gauge eras 3 to 8 items, which you can see on screen now. You've got the fantastic Hatton's Originals P-Class and Andrew Barclay, Beal Hack, Warwell wagons, BOC tank wagons. We've also got the Dapol Class 29 in there, which isn't pictured. Unfortunately, we couldn't fit everything in here today. We've got to leave a few surprises in there for you as well to go and discover for yourself. But we've got all of those there. Moving on, we've got other 00 gauge items, which is our modern image collection in there. So we've got the Hatton's Original 66. We've got the Realtrack models 156 in there, RHTT, and the FEA Intermodal wagons. Some amazing prices on these. Then, of course, we've got our O gauge bargains. So we've got, as you saw, good old Class A3 on the desk that we had. We've also got the A4 in there. We've got Class 50s from Helgen. We've got 50-ton Warwell wagons, and there is some other surprises in there, including Dapol's 58XX locomotive. And of course, our incredible bargain basement £2 to £6 stocking fillers. So you've got plenty of buses, coaches, vans, trucks, anything you can imagine, road vehicles, all there to explore from £2. I might have to buy some myself.
And everything, of course, is available right now. We've put a link in the description for you with information on every single thing we have. So let's just answer a couple of quick questions before we go. Sandeep there asking regarding the mug. The mug is available indeed. You can pick those up as part of this sale. They're £3, as you can see here, with our logo on. So you can pick one of those up either on its own, or you can pick it up alongside something else there too. I'll just bring us back there. That is one of the items we've got there too. So again, we've got, I think it's just under 200 or so items that we've got on this sale. And that is just the items that we've got on this sale. At any time, we have over 10,000 different items in stock, all of which are at bargain prices in their own right too. So that's items that are not included in the sale, but every single thing we sell is at a really great price. So even if you don't see it on the sale, do look through our website for it, as we have a vast selection of modelling items across N gauge, 00 gauge, O gauge, gauge 1, G gauge, whatever era, we have something for you. So have a look on our website for a little bit more information on that.
That's it. You're spot on there, Dave. Obviously, with the bargains that we've got here, this is up to, I believe, 40% off that you can snag a bargain for here today. But we try to be as competitive as possible with our pricing. There's plenty of other bargains that aren't even listed here as part on our website as well. Do use that link in the description to explore what we've shown you here today and a few other surprises in there. You can head to the bargains page on our website to explore everything else that we do have at a lower price than usual. And obviously the huge range of thousands of products that Dave's already mentioned there. And of course, if there's something that you're looking for and you're not quite sure what you want, or you might want something else to go with it, our help desk team are always there 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. GMT. Currently, and they will be able to help you out with all kinds of things. If it's to do with something as simple as where your order is up to, or when it's going to potentially arrive with you, you can call them up about that or send an email. But if you've got a more technical question, we've got a full products team here as well. So they can help out with any queries to do with, what's right for my era, what could I run with my 66, what could I run with my A3, all these sort of questions. So just get in touch and we can help you out.
If you've any question at all, we're more than happy to help out wherever we can. Otherwise, I think that's a wrap. I think we've covered pretty much everything we have here today. Have a look at that link for information and the current availability of the bargains we have here. Everything at these prices is available while stocks last, and some items are already selling out, as we've mentioned. Otherwise, I'm not going to lie, Jack, it's great to have you back.
It's great to be back.
It's fantastic to have you here, and I'm sure some of your adoring fans have already been putting in the chat there to see you back here too. So otherwise, thanks again for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page for more great video content. And of course, head over to our website for all these bargains and even more besides. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Been a pleasure. See you guys.